Hi, welcome to today's lesson. What we're going to be looking at today is the way that I like to plot straight line graphs. Okay, you should have watched the video before on plotting straight line graphs using coordinates. That's a basic principle that you need to know. However, the faster way is using the gradient intercept method. Okay, so that's what we're going to be looking at today. How to plot lines using the gradient intercept method. Okay, now this is very straightforward, and it comes from the idea where you understand what the parts of y equals mx plus c are. Okay, so it's using your theory to shortcut your working. Alright, so you got here y equals mx plus c. Alright, now there's a couple of things that you should know about this. Firstly, c is your y-intercept. That's where it cuts the y-axis, okay? And m is your gradient. Now what does that mean? M means it's the change in y divided by the change in x. Okay, so how far up divided by how far across. Okay, so if I'm using my gradient to read off, and I'll show you an example, all you need to look at is how far am I going up and how far am I going across from my intercept. Alrighty, so let's look at an example that I want to quickly do. Y equals 2x plus 3. Y equals 2x plus 3. And they say draw this accurately, either on a grid, okay, or sketch this. Alright, now I'm going to draw it pretty accurately, okay, and I'm going to just use a ruler to draw this. And just to show you, this is what I would expect my kids to do if we were doing this, okay. So 2x plus 3. Firstly, understand what parts of this are. So firstly, this here, this is my y-intercept, okay, this is my y-intercept. Okay, so I go up to 3. Alrighty, let's finish with the black. So I go up to 3. I'm going to use inches on here. Okay, 1, 2, 3, and there is 3 on my axis. 1, 2, 3. I haven't bothered to put in 1 and 2 up there. Okay, so I go up to 3 and I say, okay, 2x plus 3. Now, let's understand what the gradient is. Okay, the gradient is change in y over change in x. So the gradient is change in y over change in x. So that means gradient is 2. Now I want to write this as a fraction. I want to write it as change in y over change in x. Okay, well how can we write 2 as a fraction? Any whole number you can write as a fraction by just doing this. Okay, any whole number. 5, I can write 5 over 1. Boom, wrote it as a fraction. Okay, because dividing by 1 doesn't change it. So I'm writing the gradient as a fraction. Now what does this mean? This means that my vertical change is 2, so I'm going up 2, and my horizontal change is 1. So I'm going across 1. Okay, up 2, across 1. Please note, positive in the positive direction of x, positive in the positive direction of y. That's it. So all that I'm going to do with this is I'm going to go across 1 and up 2. So from the intercept, I'm going to go across 1, so if I'm doing it in inches, 1 across, and up 2. I'm going to go 2 up. Also, if I'm dealing with inches, I'm going to go 2 up. Across 1, up 2. There's my line. Done. All I have to do is join the top of my gradient through my intercept, alright? And that there is y equals 2x plus 3. Y equals 2x plus 3. Across 1, up 2. Alright. Now, nothing more to say there. That's why this is so fast. Okay? It's really, really quickly. Understand that the gradient you can write as a fraction, which is what you want, because you want the change in y over the change in x. And then just interpret this, across 1 up 2. You don't have to stick to 2 to 1. You can do anything that would simplify to 2. So you could go, if you wanted to, across 4 up 2. That would simplify to 2. You could go across 6 up 3. That would simplify to 2. Okay, it doesn't really make a difference. And if I had to do that, just for excitement, just to see, if I had to do across 4 up 2, watch this. Go to my intercept. So let's go, across 2 up 4. Across 2, so there's 2 inches, up 4. Okay, up 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Boom. There it is. Reaches. Okay, so it doesn't really matter, alright? All you have to do, find your intercept, understand your gradient as a fraction, go from your intercept, that fraction movement. Okay, so it's kind of thinking about the gradient almost as a translation. Okay, we've done transformations of things, translation, shift left, shift right, shift up, down. All right. Okay, cool. So let's look at another one. One more. This is really such a useful tool. It's much faster than choosing a whole bunch of coordinates. Don't you agree? Okay. All right, so let's look at another one. The next one I want to do is minus 3x plus 4. Y equals minus 3x plus 4. Okay, so again, what are you thinking about here? What is your thinking? Firstly, well, there's my intercept. There's my y-intercept, the c value, positive 4. Okay, and then what's my gradient? Well, my gradient now, gradient equals negative 3. I want to turn this into a fraction. Okay, well, let's put it over 1. That's negative 3. Okay, so now, let's understand this. Let's understand this. What does this mean? Well, this means, what do you think negative on the y change will mean? Well, if positive means up, negative must mean down. So it must mean down 3, alright? And still positive on the x, across 1. You agree with me? Okay, so down 3 across 1. That's just the negative. Alrighty, so now all that's left is for me to fiddle with this ruler and do this, alright? So there's my xy axis, okay? We go up to, what are we going up to the y-axis? With the y-intercept, we're going up to positive 4, okay? So if we go up to positive 4, right, there, I'm using inches again, so up to positive 4, so there's positive 4, 4 inches above there, there's 4 for my y-intercept. And now what am I doing? I'm going either across 1 down 3, or down 3 across 1. It doesn't really make a difference. Okay, I want to show you something in a second, but let's just look at this. So the order doesn't really matter. So let's go across 1, then down 3, okay? So let's flip to red, so we've got the gradients all in red, okay? So we want to go across 1 inch across, okay? There it is. And then down 3, 3 inches down. 1, 2, 3. Bada bing. And that's it. Join the dots. Join your intercept through to the edge of your gradient and you're done. Okay? So your intercept through to the edge of the gradient. Okay? There it is. It's really, really useful to go and do this on a grid. If you've got a grid or if you've got graph paper, go and do this on a graph paper or grid just to see. Okay? Practice this and then plot the coordinates and see if the coordinates line up. Okay? Until you get comfortable with this, you've got to be okay with both of them. When you get really good at this, I tell you what, I stopped using coordinates ages ago. Alright, okay. But you should really just check that you're okay with both of them. Now, the last thing that I just want to quickly tell you before we sign off for today, okay, is this idea. Gradients is negative 3 for this one. Okay, fine, super, negative 3. Well, how can I do negative 3? I can do it as negative 3 over 1, or I can write it as 3 over negative 1. Alright, that'll still give me negative 3. Okay. Positive divided by a negative is a negative, or a negative divided by a positive is also negative. So it doesn't matter if you do this. Now, if you do this, fine, well, let's interpret this. Well, what's positive 3? Well, that's 3 up. Well, what's negative 1? Negative 1 on the horizontal is 1 left. So I'm going left 1. 3 up, 1 left. Very, very quickly. I'm going to muck up my drawing now. Well, actually, I'm not going to muck it up. Let's just do this. 3 up, right? There. Watch. 1 left. 1 left. So there. There it is. 3 up, 1 left. Or 1 right, 3 down. Doesn't make a difference. I still have a gradient of negative 3. Okay. So that's quite useful to understand both of them. The order doesn't really matter as long as you understand what the sign tells you as far as direction goes. Left, right, up, down. Okay. Remember, x negative, go left. Y negative, go down. That's it. Alright. Something that I tell my kids is, it's a little bit silly, but anyway. Positive people are right and upbeat. Negative people are down and left behind. It's silly, I know, but hey, it's a small thing that helps me remember it. Okay. Anyway, go check out some more. Come practice this, seriously. Go take a couple of graphs and practice them. And you'll see how easy it is. Alright, remember, I'm here for you.